Thanks for tuning in to this episode of With Just 15 Defeats after one of the biggest nights in heavyweight boxing history. I'm Teekosey, and today we're going to be discussing who had the more impressive victory over Wladimir Klitschko, either Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber, thank you for your continued support of Teekosey Boxing. I really appreciate it. Now, I could have done an Anthony Joshua Wladimir Klitschko post-fight review, but when I started thinking about the fight, I thought what would be more interesting would be some kind of comparison and analysis over who had the more impressive victory over Wladimir Klitschko. So as we've seen, the last two fights of Wladimir Klitschko have now gone against him. 18 months ago, we saw Tyson Fury win a unanimous points decision over in Germany, whereas last night we saw Anthony Joshua get off the canvas to get a stoppage victory. So just some brief points on the Anthony Joshua Wladimir Klitschko fight before we move forward. I had Wladimir Klitschko up by 3 points before the 11th round, where it all changed and we saw Anthony Joshua win by stoppage. I think Wladimir Klitschko proved a lot of the doubters wrong. His performance was exceptional. A 41-year-old with phenomenal movement, powerful punching. He had a good game plan. He frustrated Anthony Joshua. And not only that, he showed the heart to get up from 3 powerful knockdowns. And let's be honest, after the first knockdown, he showed why he is an all-time great in the heavyweight division. He got knocked down, he rode it out. Anthony Joshua tried to close the show, but in doing so, Wladimir Klitschko managed to land a big left hook, which changed the direction of the fight at that time. And one of the biggest questions I have on the whole fight was the 5th round really a 10-8 round to Anthony Joshua? Yes, he dropped Klitschko. He then went in and he was dominant in trying to finish Klitschko for about 15 seconds. He then ate the left hook and he melted. Wladimir Klitschko was completely dominant for 1 minute and 40 seconds of that round without scoring a knockdown, but it was completely one-sided for that second half of the round. So, is it really a 10-8 round? But anyway, we saw Klitschko move forward and really dominate the fight. Afterwards, he scored a knockdown of his own in the next round, and we saw the holding, the Klitschko style and game plan really come into fruition. The jab was landing well, he was keeping his distance, and he was controlling the fight until the 11th round. Anthony Joshua came out in the last round with a new purpose, very aggressive, and scored some phenomenal punches to create those 2 knockdowns. But as I say, Klitschko managed to get up from them. He showed incredible heart and the heart of a champion, but ultimately he was stopped on his feet by the referee. Anthony Joshua moves forward with a very impressive victory on his CV. He's beaten an all-time great, and he's beaten someone that many of the pundits out there thought that he was incapable of beating, that he would be beaten on points or Klitschko would win by late stoppage. Now, just like with the Tyson Fury fight, where I correctly predicted that Tyson Fury would beat Wladimir Klitschko on points, I predicted that Anthony Joshua would win by stoppage. So as I say, the title of this video is who had the more impressive victory over Wladimir Klitschko? So let's talk about the impressive achievements of both fighters in the individual fights. So Anthony Joshua, last night, he went out there and he fought in front of 90,000 fans. Some kind of record for boxing in the Wembley Stadium, which is gigantic. And there must have been a serious amount of pressure on him to really perform in front of a crowd that big. Yes, he's fought at the Wembley Stadium before, but when he fought the last time on the Froch Gross undercard, he fought at about 6:30 in early evening, and I was there. There wasn't many people watching that fight at all. But he had the pressure. He had the pressure of the nation. There was a lot expected. There was a lot of people that were just putting pressure on him and expecting him to get the knockout victory. And they were saying Anthony Joshua is going to get this knockout victory very early. And that's a lot of pressure for a young guy to have, particularly when he has a genuine lack of experience, which is my second point. Anthony Joshua's experience professionally is very limited. As they said, he has had less rounds than Klitschko has knockouts. That's an incredible statistic. However, he has fought in front of big crowds, the O2, for example. But in terms of opposition, his opposition has been fairly limited. We're talking the best opponents being Dillian Whyte and probably Dominic Breazeale. Now, to counterbalance that, we'll talk about Fury in a minute, but for me, I don't think Fury has phenomenal experience either. He's fought Dereck Chisora twice, and that's probably his best opposition, with the exception of Wladimir Klitschko, of course. But as well, there's a significant lack of experience, a significant lack of rounds for Anthony Joshua. So to jump from Eric Molina to Wladimir Klitschko is phenomenally impressive. The next achievement, I believe, is that he took big shots. Wladimir Klitschko landed some impressive left hooks and some right-hand combinations that hurt Anthony. They put him down on the canvas, and what was impressive was that he got up. He rode the storm, he survived, and he managed to win. Continuing in this vein of form, the fact that when he dropped Wladimir, he blew his wad. He went all out for that stoppage victory. He didn't get it. He did not get it. He didn't get it. But he somehow managed to ride the storm. He was conservative for a few rounds where Klitschko was very, very dominant, getting his style across before really deciding I need to unload in the 11th and then getting that phenomenal stoppage. So the last of the achievements for Anthony Joshua against Wladimir Klitschko is that he stopped him. It might have been a referee stoppage, but there was two brutal knockdowns in that round, and really the referee made the right decision in stopping the fight at that time. Now, Wladimir Klitschko has been stopped in the past on a number of occasions, but we're talking quite a period of time ago. Wladimir Klitschko rejuvenated his career, changed his style, has fought a number of dangerous oppositions and top guys, and he's fought everyone that was put in front of him. He defended it. He's never really looked like he was in danger throughout the last decade. So for Anthony Joshua to go in and stop him is a phenomenal achievement. So let's move across and talk about Tyson Fury's achievements in fighting Wladimir Klitschko. So the first of it is that he beat the champion. He wasn't the champion. He was a massive underdog. Everyone expected Wladimir Klitschko to win comprehensively, apart from me, of course. But he fought him. He fought the champion, the undisputed lineal champion, and he won the belts. That in itself, just the fact that he beat the champion, is a phenomenal achievement. The next thing is something that I think is quite important in this fight, was that he went abroad. He went to Germany. He went to Dusseldorf. He risked it. He knew what all that would entail. The away support, the judges, everything would be against him. But he went to foreign soil and he did the job. The next thing is that he left it in the hands of the judges. Now, we see, it doesn't matter whether it's in Germany, it's in the UK, wherever it is. Generally, judging favours the home fighter. It doesn't matter where you are, and there's always talk about corruption, and there was for years there was like, oh, in Germany, the judges are corrupt. They're always favouring the home fighter. And then in some recent years, there's been talk about the judges in Britain being the same. But he left it in the hands of the judges, and he still got the result. So the fact that the judges agreed and were consistent with what actually happened shows again how impressive the result was. The next thing is that he did not get hurt. Wladimir Klitschko was unable to really hurt him at all, unable to put Tyson Fury out of his rhythm. Tyson Fury had a game plan, and he stuck to that game plan, and it was a joy to watch. The last thing, and the most important thing in this fight, is that Tyson Fury took away Wladimir Klitschko's offense completely. He toyed and played with him for 12 rounds. Because of his unorthodox movement, Klitschko was unable to set his feet to land the jab. And because he was unable to land the jab, he was unable to really think about the combinations. It completely took him off his game plan. And that was the magic of Tyson Fury on that night. So for me, the way that I see it is that when we think about these two very, very impressive victories by Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury over the great Wladimir Klitschko, for me, the more impressive victory is Tyson Fury. For the achievements that I mentioned, he took the belts from a champion. He wasn't a beaten man. He was a champion that had won decisively for years and years and years. Fury had to go abroad, deal with foreign judges. He walked away from that fight relatively unhurt, and he did not let Klitschko do a thing. That is what is so impressive. So I don't know what you guys think, whether you agree or whether you think the fact that Anthony Joshua, the fact that he was able to stop him, that is conclusive information as to what was the more impressive victory. Let me know in the comment section below. I really like to hear from you. But a fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, I think, would be phenomenal. And Anthony Joshua called out Tyson Fury in the ring after the fight, which I thought was interesting. I didn't think that was going to happen if Anthony Joshua won. I didn't think he would talk about Fury, because Fury is not active at the moment. He's not looking in good shape at all. And for me, I would not like Tyson Fury to start rapidly trying to get in shape for a fight in a couple of months. I don't think it would be the best fight that we could see. But if we were to somehow magically get a prime Tyson Fury against a prime Anthony Joshua, an Anthony Joshua that's been in the trenches now, that has come from being knocked down to then stop his opponent in devastating fashion, we have the potential to see a good fight. But for me, my early thoughts on it, my initial thoughts, would be that Tyson Fury would win if we can get a prime Tyson Fury. Now, we might not see it a prime Tyson Fury because the way that he's been the last 18 months, the extensive weight gain, he may never be able to get himself back in the prime shape that he was for that Klitschko fight. We may never see it. But a prime Tyson Fury that keeps to the game plan. I believe that his unorthodox movement will be something that Anthony Joshua will struggle with. And I spoke about it in my preview of the Anthony Joshua and Klitschko fight, that the way to beat both Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko is with perpetual movement. And we kind of saw that to an extent with Klitschko. He showed phenomenal movement for a guy of his age. He was in and out and he was constantly moving. And it really did frustrate Anthony Joshua. Now, Tyson Fury is next level in terms of movement. It's so unorthodox. It's in, it's out, it's up, it's down. It's any way you can possibly describe it. And it's possible that he will get frustrated. The only difference here is that we know that Tyson Fury does not pack serious power. He does not pack serious power. So it's possible that if Joshua is able to close him down and land some shots, Tyson Fury may begin to struggle. Because whilst Wladimir Klitschko showed some phenomenal movement, Anthony Joshua showed at times that he was able to close him down and land the big shots. So there's a lot of interesting points, and if this fight was ever to be announced, I'm sure that there is a considerable amount of talking points to really go in depth and analyse how this fight would happen. But until that moment, I'm going to keep with these initial thoughts. So moving forward, it will be interesting to see who Anthony Joshua fights next. I don't think it's going to be Tyson Fury. In theory, he has mandatory challengers in Kubrat, Pulev and Ortiz. I have a feeling he won't fight either of them either. I don't think he's going to fight Tony Bellew. I think it's possible Deontay Wilder. I think that's a possibility, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the next couple of weeks. I think in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll see the direction that Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn, the way that they want to move forward. And in the meantime, we've got Joseph Parker, who's going to defend his WBO title against someone he should comprehensively defeat after Fury pulling out of the fight. We've also got the regular version of the WBA title being contested between Shannon Briggs and Oquendo. So the potential for some unification and big heavyweight fights in the future is a high probability. So, if you've got any questions or comments on the show that I've just put forward to you, I would be pleased to hear from you in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, remember, I really appreciate your continued support. I hope you enjoyed this fight between Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko. And I'll see you on the next episode.